Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another part of Planet Coaster Building Adventure Park. This is a continuation of the queue. So in this episode we are going to be doing detail work, adding a lot of life to the queue. Yeah, thank you so much for all the support. I really do appreciate it. As you can see here, I'm using some just dirt that's dragging down from the walls, maybe some water damage. These are custom assets that I got from a theme maker toolkit. I can't remember exactly which one right now off the top of my head, but I will most likely have a link in the description for the Steam Workshop subscription, for where you can find the assets in the toolkit. I believe it's from a haunted house, if I'm not mistaken, but I will double check and put the link in the description. Yeah, we're doing detail work even on the back. Even if you won't most likely see it from the paths, I still want that detail to be there, because there might be some view lines, some viewing angles that actually do hit it at some point. As of right now there isn't, but I'm just thinking ahead, making sure that no matter where you look at it, you will see some themed assets. It's not just like a big boring grey blob. But yeah, I'm just going through a lot of different assets, just seeing what fits, what doesn't, and you know, it's a lot of trial and error trying to make it seem cool. But yeah, what I'll do is I'll leave you guys to watch the building of this queue, and I'll jump back in once we finish off the detail work. Alright guys. Alright guys, I'm back, and as you can see here, I actually wanted to extend the walls further, but I wanted it at that angle. I just wanted to make it a little bit unique, give it a weird angle, and I did that just by making another separate building. So as you can see, we're just lining everything up to continue that theming going, and once we do that, we give it. I haven't finished the roofing. The roofing currently looks a little funky, but we will get that sorted at some point. But yeah, that open section there is where I want the sign to be. And hopefully you guys can come up with an awesome name. Any suggestions is greatly appreciated, so alright, and now we're back to the coaster. So there were a few things I wanted to do in this episode with this coaster. The main thing being getting the hill and mountain work done above it. And the reason why I'm doing that is because you can't really make an area dark unless you've got land above it. It's really weird the way it works in Planet Coaster. But in order to get a dark ride feel truly dark, you need that landscape around it. So it's cheating essentially, because you could build a box around it with walls and a roof, but it wouldn't look really dark. You'd get light coming in. So we're just using this method to make it a little bit dark and just give it a little bit more character. So what I'm doing is I'm just using the flatten to foundation tool and just marking out areas that I would like to use. You can see there we've got that coaster loop that comes through the top, and I really like that idea of just, you know, breaching through. So that's the height that I've left it at, and I only go halfway across. Still haven't quite decided on how much I want to be landscaped and how much I want to be going through certain areas like the temple buildings or out in the open, but we're definitely getting there. We're doing a lot of creative choices to make it seem a bit unique, and one of the main things really for doing all this is just to clean it up, make it look a little bit nicer. Make sure those tunnels, you're not hitting your head or anything like that. You see there's still a section there that you do kind of get decapitated, so just going through, making sure that all the tunnels are where they're at and how it should be. And I still might go through and widen the tunnels just a little bit. They feel slightly claustrophobic. And yeah, so we're just doing that breach through the top of that mountain out of that loop. But yeah, again, I just like to say thank you guys so much for the support. It really does mean a lot, especially considering how new the channel is. But yeah, it's really awesome. I appreciate it a lot. And again, any suggestions, feel free to let me know in the comments. I definitely will take them all into consideration. And if you have come from this channel and checked out the main channel, Flow Poly, that's awesome. I'm really glad you've gone ahead and checked it out. I mentioned previously that it's a channel that I put all game development related topics on there. Whether it's games that I'm making, whether it's art assets, any kind of development tutorials, that kind of thing, that goes onto that channel. And I've noticed even from the first part of Planet Coaster on this channel helped out my main channel. A few of you guys jumped over there and had a look, and I appreciate that. Or if you're coming from the main channel to check out this one, thank you also. It is appreciated. Any video topic suggestions I do take into consideration. There's been quite a few videos on my main channel that have been suggested to me topic wise, and I've gone ahead and made a tutorial about it, and it's, you know, even if it helps that one person, it's still helping someone. So anything like that I always take into consideration. So you can see how I've got some assets that I've downloaded from the Steam Workshop, and I'll be linking any assets that I use in the description of this video. So this was one that I found and it just fit so nicely. It's this little kind of like a god statue, and it fits so perfectly underneath that cobra roll. So I gone ahead, placed it there, and what I'll be doing is I'll be building a structure around it that fits, and I'm going to be going through coaster doors. It's going to be all crazy cool lighting, some cool sound effects. But I need to start somewhere, so we start at these, you know, basic ideas and we build upon that. And this was one I found. It was kind of like a shrine, almost like someone's like performed a sacrifice or something. But it just looks so cool, and I figured it would kind of go towards a story that I'm thinking of, kind of like someone's been sacrificed and there's now a curse. So that's the theming that I'm kind of going with for this ride, that a god's been angered and now there's a plagued curse going around. So that's kind of the theming that I want to go with. And here on top of the mounting where that loop is where I want to add a temple. And there's this really cool one that I've got from the Steam workshop. It's really big though, and it just didn't fit. So I decided I would have a look and see what else I've got downloaded. Couldn't quite find anything temple wise, so I ended up making my own at some point. But here there's another statue that just looks so awesome. It takes so much time to make this stuff too. That's why I'm using some from the workshop. But again, links in the description for any community made assets. Now here is a flat ride that I had downloaded. It's called Aztec Curse, and it is the Horror Heights flat ride. Again, super cool theming. Really, really well done. Fits in so perfectly in this park. I just had to get it and put it in. Again, link in description for that particular ride. Now when it comes to flat rides, I probably will be using community made stuff. As for track rides and coasters, they're all going to be made by me. So when it comes to track rides, coasters, that's going to be custom made, but for flat rides and some scenery theming, I did mention in the first part that I would most likely be taking them from the community because they are really well made and it takes so long to make them. And, you know, they make them and upload them for a reason, so I don't feel like it's cheating. But yeah, here you see we're making the temple. So that was a gate that was pre-made. To plop 2 of them down and we start from there, and it's just one of those things where you got to play with the different pieces, and there's so many pieces in this game to play with. It's incredible. You know, you could spend 1,000 hours in this game building 1,000 different things, and they will look different every time. Yeah, now we're just using wall pieces to create a building, and that's just going to be like the kind of basis of where I want to jump off from. So again, I wanted this to look like an old temple, monastery kind of a thing up on a hill. And I'm not going for accuracy, I'm not going for historical accuracy, because honestly I don't know what is accurate. I haven't done the research. This is just fantastical, whimsical, adventurous. Yeah, again, it's just one of those trial and error things, trying to see what pieces work, and it can take a few, you know, it can take a few moments to figure out what works, what doesn't. And again, nothing's really finished yet. It's all just kind of laying that foundation, because it takes quite a while to get something that I'm truly happy with anyway. Especially in this game when you could spend hours creating something and it still doesn't, you know, still not complete, still not finished. But here's where we start for the kind of like the main staircase up the temple. So we just use some stair pieces and some rectangular block pieces. And I'm sure you've noticed by now, but I only use angle snap at 15 degrees. And I'm not sure why, I've just always done that. It just... I feel like any other degree is too much or too little, whereas 15 degree gives you enough control, especially when you're doing coasters and you're doing bank turns at 15 degrees. 15 degree increments, it seems smooth enough to me, to the fact that I can be happy with it before smoothing the banking. And for building, 15 degrees just seems enough to have some leeway before I actually turn it off and then go into like manual mode. But yeah, I always leave it in 15 degree increments. That's just been a thing I've done for quite a while now. I'll be curious to see if anyone else uses 15 degrees only, or if they have some other method. That'd be cool to know. Yeah, we're just doing some railing pieces, just up those staircases. Again, this is something that you're not really gonna look at for too long. It's just something in the background, so it doesn't need to be heavily detailed, but it will be at some point. Again, this is just kind of like the foundation base work, but that's pretty much done for this episode. So what we've done is we've added that Aztec Curse flat ride, which is a Horror Heights ride. We've done a little bit of theming for the coaster, and we have kind of finished off the queue entrance. It's not finished yet, but the general idea is there. So again, this is just adding the that base that I was saying, building that out. But yeah guys, that's going to be it for this episode. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch. If you liked it, please leave a like. If you dislike it, please leave a dislike. Honestly, I'd rather know. Don't sugarcoat it. If you'd like to see more, please consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See you later.